going on, everybody? Coach Gaglione here. Just got done with little wedding shredding workout here at ProFit Gym in Strong Island, New York. It's one of my favorite places to train, especially when I'm looking to have more of a body composition phase. So whether your goal is strength, just looking good, feeling good, staying healthy, it's definitely good to kind of go back and forth between strength phases and what I would consider like a health phase or like a body composition phase. So whether that means trying to add more muscle, trying to lose body fat, or some combination, and just doing things to maybe like unload your spine, things of that nature. So if you're a power lifter, I always, advocate, training with a powerlifting gym, training with a powerlifting crew whenever you can. But it's not a bad idea, whether it's a home gym situation or a commercial gym. It also just kind of shifts your mindset a bit. So I know for me, a lot of people that train here, some of them are professional bodybuilders, some are housewives, some are just guys looking to get shredded for summer. But the intention, the energy is different. The energy is different. And surrounding yourself with like-minded people. So right now, I'm working towards dropping some body fat, and I've been successful in doing so far. But putting myself in that environment can be very beneficial. This is also why kind of having a coach can be important. This is why having training partners can be important. But sometimes actually kind of shifting your environment, and that could be a matter of, obviously if you have a good coach, you could just obviously switch up your programming from time to time. That should happen, even if some of our lifters are reluctant to do so. They want to lift hard and heavy all the time, which I kind of learned the hard way. That's a mistake, but just want to throw that out there. It's definitely been, kind of challenging to find, new training groups and stuff. And it's one of the reasons why I will travel to the Bear Cave, train with Travis Rogers and his crew. I don't need to do that. And especially with my goals being, I'm retired from competitive lifting, if you will. But when I want to get strong, I'm going to be around people that are either at my level or even better than me. And, like Travis, for example, he's a better lifter than me. I'll just call a spade a spade. Even though I'm 1-0 against him. Just busting his chops a little bit. But joking aside, he's a better lifter than me. So that's why I want to lift with him. And also, he's just got great people around him. And also, he does a lot of stuff for the community. So that's kind of the next thing I wanted to discuss. I think it's really important that, this is especially for more of the younger lifters, but, also for the old heads too, that maybe, are kind of transitioning out. Because I always joke that I started powerlifting before it was cool. Nowadays, even like your commercial gyms usually have pretty good squat racks, pretty good bars. Some maybe even have calibrated plates. Some maybe have really good plates. There's usually some sort of strength area. When I used to train at Fitness 2000, we had to fight for one squat rack. And so that was a challenge sometimes, but, we always kind of made sure we got in there early, and then eventually we transitioned to our own space, and we called it the dungeon. But we had to hide. A lot of the powerlifters, we had to kind of hide from the commercial gym dwellers and all of that stuff. So I think it's important to kind of understand and also be grateful that we are fortunate just to have other places to train. And then this is not a slight at all, but I just want to kind of mention it because I think it's important. And I've been in situations like this too, like before we open up our space in Milton, Delaware. So I kind of get it. Sometimes you'll see commercial gyms that have powerlifting areas. They'll have like their calibrated plates locked up. We saw this at Mount Vernon Barbell. I just saw this at ProFit recently. We see this at many other gyms. And when it comes to like those very expensive high-end plates, I understand, especially if you're using them for competition, if those are cracked, then they're not legal. So I understand kind of locking those up. But what I don't understand, and one of the things that I was trying to do, which is, maybe not something I want to get into at the moment, but I understand like locking up certain things for competition's sake, and making sure it was labeled. And I do think it's good to like maybe have some sort of education, kind of maybe just saying why it's locked up for the members. Just my 2 cents, and this isn't like a kind of throwing shade at any gym or anything like that. I just think it's important. But what I was kind of disappointed to see was that the combo rack, like kind of safety pins and J-cups were completely taken out, meaning that whoever owns that rack or whatever at this particular gym, like the general public can't squat. They can't squat in the combo rack. They can't bench in the combo rack. And to be honest, I think that's kind of gatekeeping, and I don't think that's really helpful for people trying to get into the sport. It's a squat rack, guys. If you want to like have some sort of attachment so the pins don't get lost and things like that, I totally understand that, because that could be a challenge if those pins get lost. But that's like not a hard thing to do. or at least have some information if people like want to use it. That's just, again, my 2 cents. I think because again, powerlifters online, they're the most supportive people, they're the best, but then, like, again, sometimes it's the middle tier people, it's not the top people, it's not the newbies, the people like the Ed Cohns of the world, the best of all time, they're the most humble. But it fires me up when you have these middle of the road people that think they're entitled to special equipment, no one else can use it, they're not going to help people, they're not going to share. That's horse crap, in my opinion. That's not helping the sport grow, and that's certainly not helping the community. So shame on you, whoever made that decision. But that being said, I understand if it's for a contest that it's locked up and you don't want things to get lost or broken. Totally understand that. I'm having issues at my gym in New York with things breaking and stuff and people not telling me. It's hard. But we need to up communication together. It's one of the reasons why I'm constantly trying to get people involved, not just from our gym, but from outside the gym, to train to judge, train to load, train to score. We need to get more people together. In New York and in Delaware, are those the areas that I'm focusing on, the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Travis Rogers has been doing amazing things in Maryland and the outside areas, so I'm going to assist him. I try to be very agnostic with federations, although we do the RPS, because Amy's been a great friend over the years, and she lets us kind of help the sport grow. We help her out at competitions in New Jersey and Pennsylvania as well as run the contests in New York. And we're very grateful to have that opportunity. And not everyone wants to lift out of stands. I don't personally like to lift out of stands. I think it's unsafe. That's just my opinion. So we're going to always put on the monolift meets. And I'm always happy to assist people that are running the meets out of stands. Maybe some of the high-end drug tested meets, the high-end national level meets like the WRPF does. Totally cool with that. I'm going to focus on helping the grassroots grow, flourish, and continue to get better in Delaware and in New York, Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast region. Because there's going to be a post that's going to come out either later or it may come out by the time this is released. But guys, I've been doing this since 2006. I was the fat kid that got picked on. I wasn't good at sports. Powerlifting and strength training has done so much for me personally, mentally, and I don't know if I'd be talking to you if I wasn't for powerlifting. So there's a lot of kids just like me, and now I know there's a lot of super athletes and people that are like, kind of, they're not misfits anymore. They are good athletes, and there are like very talented people coming to the sport, and that's great. When I came into the sport, a lot of us were the wrestlers and football players and the misfits that didn't make it, that couldn't cut it in like real sports, what I would say, like field sports and things of that nature. If you ever watched me throw a ball, you'd laugh. But I'm the first and only man to squat 800 pounds in 6 weight classes. I've helped over 100 lifters get nationally ranked. I've helped people like Larry Williams break all-time world records in 3 different weight classes. You can count. I bet you can't think of 5 people who have done that. I could think of 2 others for the total. But anyways, I digress. The point is, I love this sport. When I see people do things that hurt the community and hurt the sport, that fires me up. So on these stories, I'm going to start to speak up a little bit more. I think that's something, again, that I really respect about Travis Rogers, is that maybe he's open to a fault sometimes, but he's real, he's raw, and you know what he's thinking, and I really respect that, and that's why I consider him a good friend, and that's why I support what he does and everything they do at the cave. And I want to also support gyms. Again, it's not just also about powerlifting. If there's weightlifting gyms, if there's kettlebell gyms, if CrossFitters, people need to do hard things. People need to train hard. People need to train. Train for a goal, train for a purpose, train for something that challenges you. I'm doing strict curl right now. I think that's another great outlet. I'm going to focus on powerlifting and strict curl personally. I think there's also other avenues that you could take, but I'm going to focus on the strength sports, the pure strength sports, those 1 rep max lifts. I'm going to do everything in my power to help people out. Just get exposed to it, because we want to spread the message of strength. So I want to just kind of hop on here quick. I don't know how this is going to work for Instagram. I don't know how maybe I'll put this on YouTube, but we have a lot of events coming up. So if you want to get involved and you actually want to help out, not just say that I'm supporting of the powerlifting community. We need to, again, I'm putting in lots of time, money, resources, bandwidth. It's a lot. It's not a pity party, but it's a lot for me to drive back and forth to multiple states. It's a lot of overhead to pay staff. It's a lot of overhead to keep the lights on in multiple locations, run all these events. It cuts into family time. This means so much to me. but I need more help. I need more people to join me. So again, it doesn't mean you have to necessarily get coached by me. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be part of our team. But if you care about powerlifting, if you care about strength sports, I do hope to get involved. And if you're not in the New York or Delaware area, I'm happy to. I have a lot of colleagues and people that I know are all over the United States, even outside the country, in Canada, in England. We have associates in those countries currently. Let's just get more people involved. So my rant is over, but be rest assured, I'm kind of done staying quiet. I've been trying to, kind of get my life together. I'm getting married in a few months, but this is really important to me, and I'm just not going to tolerate stuff that's just going to hurt people, whether it be physically, mentally, or just, bringing the sport backwards in general. So I'm going to speak my mind a little bit more. We're going to have more educational content. Some stuff might ruffle feathers. Some people might ruffle, it might upset some people, but just understand I'm doing this with good intentions, and it's always been that way, regardless of what people say. If you know me in real life, if you've been with me for a long time, if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I love this. And so this is a new chapter in my life. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm going and where I'm growing as a coach and as a lifter and as a person. But I'm excited for the future, and I'm just hoping that you'll join me in my effort to help this get a stronger community. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, stay strong, and I'll see you soon.